Oh, man. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Welcome to episode 6. Okay. Episode 6 of STK surviving the Knicks. Give it up for my brothers. Give it up for the Knicks. Let's get it.
STK, baby.
STK.
Baby.
There we go. Tonight on the docket, we got Ed Dollars. Ed, what's going on, man?
What up, boys? Just came back from a nice little Italian dinner. You know, I got all those carbs. I'm ready to talk Knicks all day, every day.
All right. I bet it was expensive. Not even expensive. Expensive. We got
Especially
Wall
if
Street
you're paying for everybody and your dog.
I
got mad mouths to feed.
We got Wall Street hat in the building. Wall Street, what's going on, my brother?
What's up? What's up? I'm in a swing trade on Ethereum. So if you see me like panic, that means crypto's taking a dive.
Yo,
sell.
Wall Street be sharing knowledge early in the morning. I'd be like, I don't know what you're talking about, but I love it.
It works.
I'm keeping. Listen, I take all the stuff you say in the morning, Wall Street, and I put it on my Google Note because I'm telling you, I'm keeping an eye on all that shit. Okay, and last but not least, Bronx finest. Okay, out here recruiting. Okay, if you got a 17-year-old that looks like a 14-year-old, send him to Coach B.
That's not how my program does business.
Coach Byron.
Coach B NYC, what's going on, my brother?
Chilling. You know,
Right.
U season, saga season, winter for basketball season is gonna be wonderful.
There you go. And we were just joking about that other thing. We were just joking, okay? All legitimate 14-year-olds. Please holler at Coach B NYC, okay? Definitely. So tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we got a great show for you guys. You know, we got some interesting talk. You know, the Knicks have been really quiet, low key, but you know, there's still some things in the air, especially with training camp starting next week. All right. Thank you, Ed Dollars, for that tidbit. But let's start off. I want to start off. You know, let's start off at the top of this. Coach Thibbs. Right? Coach Thibbs did a great job. He was coach of the year, even though they robbed my man. He robbed my man, Monty Williams, in my opinion. But I think if Monty didn't get it, Coach Thibbs definitely deserved it. He did a great job. I think he did a phenomenal job anywhere. You know, if you're looking at it was him, Monty Williams, and Nate McMillan, who did phenomenal jobs with their teams. But Thibbs did it with the least amount of talent, okay? Which is probably why he got it. He got the award. But fellas, I had a question for you guys. Coach Thibbs in year 2. In your opinion, what do you think he has to do to get the Knicks to the next level? And whatever that next level means, whether it's the second round, Eastern Conference, you know, whatever the case may be. Let's start with you, Wall Street. Usually don't start with you in the first round, but we want to hear from you in the first round first. Wall Street, what do you think Coach Thibbs has to do? I
think one of the things that Coach Thibbs was able to do was get the players to play hard, right? So they did that. They went out, they bought in, they played together, they ran on every play, right? There's got to be a little bit of a hangover from that. And I don't know if you can. I don't know how it's gonna be when you start to ask him to do that year 2, year 3. You know, so I just feel like you ever watch the Kentucky Derby? You know you can beat the horse too much, right? So you gotta so I'm gonna be looking out for that. I want to see some more ball movement. I feel like we got a little bit deeper, and I feel like we had some players last year that we didn't utilize in different positions. So, you know, I hope that we're not whipping our horses too much, and on the other hand, giving our young guys some space to play, But if Coach Thibbs, that's not going to be the case. It's going to be, his top 5 guys are going to be playing the majority of the minutes, night in, night out. They're going to be expected to do everything on the court, especially play defense. And so I'm curious to see. I wouldn't be surprised. There was a lot of reasons why the Knicks performed the way they performed against Atlanta. There was a lot of reasons, but one of the key reasons was they were tired from the season. The season was this marathon for them. And then now the lights are on and, the world is watching and you dead tired. So I'm going to be looking for that. I want to see how we're going to manage our depth and can he get these young guys to give it all again?
Okay. All right. Awesome.
Yeah, man. That's good. That's good.
Coach B, what are your thoughts?
I feel like going into the playoffs, we looked at the Hawks rebounding and assist numbers. They were better. We shot a better percentage, I think, from 3 and like slightly better from the field. But like the Hawks kind of had like numbers where like turnover ratio and things like that, which I think mattered come playoff time. So trying to improve on those numbers and throughout the regular season is going to be important. Overall, the flow of the offense is going to be a lot more important. Like definitely how we started. It was good for Julius Randle. It was good for Alfred Payton when he was getting 20 points, and we were like 5-1 when he scored 20 or something like that early on in the season. But overall, we need more continuity, especially like being able to space the floor with as many guys that we have that want to drive the basket and that can attack the rim, and definitely getting Obi more minutes. I don't know how he's going to do it when he wants to play big. He wants to have a rim protector on the floor, but Obi deserves more minutes. So, like those are some of the challenges that he needs to tackle. And if we stay top 4, good. But if our offense gets better, even better. Because it's going to be tough to stay top 4 and try to implement these new things offensively. So we'll see how it goes.
Okay. Ed Dallas, you up?
What's up?
What's up? What's going on? What are your thoughts?
Well, number one, Thibbs should have definitely been the coach of the year, all right, and not Monty Williams. Thibbs had the least talented team with the lowest payroll, and they were number 4 in the East. So stop it. You stop it, Just.Hek. Number 2, going off what what Wall Street and Coach B is saying, basically what they're saying is that he needs to change as a coach. A man needs to change substantially as a coach because, again, year 1, a lot of sacrifice was going on, a lot of struggle. Julius Randle was playing for his NBA life. You know what I'm saying? A newly mounted coach could do whatever he wants. There was no real dogs in the room. Year 2, you gave Julius, a good contract, a great contract. You got a lot of pressure on you. You got Kemba Walker on there. You have the most offensive unit you've ever had as a coach. Not in Chicago. Yeah, not in Minnesota. Not the guards that we have. The guards that we have are way better than any guards as a collective than he ever had. I'm going to read out some stats for you. Offense, we were ranked number 27 in the league. Fast break points, we were ranked number 30. Points in the paint, ranked number 25. Assists, ranked number 30. Assists, field goal percentage, ranked number 29. Assist to turnover, 24. 3-point percentage, we were number 26. The reason why we were number 4 in our division is because how bad those offensive stats are is how good the defensive stats are. He made these guys work. It's very easy to me to point things out and say he needs to be a better coach. But he did his job by making those guys work on defense. Truth be told, he only played 7-8 guys. So if you didn't play D, you weren't playing. So what he needs to improve in year 2 is he needs to learn the NBA coaching paradigm. He needs to loosen up the reins. The reason why we lost the Hawks series is because we couldn't score. Not because we couldn't play D. because we couldn't score. And what we've learned, and we're going to learn a lot this year when the Nets win the championship, is offense is greater than defense. And Thibbs has always relied on defense. So he needs to relinquish the reins. He needs to play a 10-man, 11-man rotation, which he probably won't. He'll play 8 guys and burn them out, just like Wall Street said. And then offensively, we're going to really find out about what this coach is all about.
Okay. No, I agree. I mean, honestly speaking, hopefully he evolves. Hopefully he learns something. Because, I mean, he's got a team with young legs. But maximizing, using that team, I mean, Knox. You're either going to do something with him or you got to get rid of him. But you got to do something with him. You know what I'm saying? Do something because, I get it. He may not have been been hustling. I think it's a practice thing. He probably wasn't showing the effort. And then Thibbs is trying to teach him a lesson. But, that lesson came back to bite him because he just ran out of ammo. And the defense, he couldn't stop Trae Young. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, you couldn't score and then you couldn't stop Trae Young. Yep. The fans were trying to stop him. They did a better job spitting on him and stuff like
he was taking bows at the Garden.
I mean, he's the new villain, man. I love it.
He's the new Reggie.
I love it. He's the new Reggie. I love it.
He was in a WWE match doing the same thing, like hating on the Knicks fans.
Seriously, it's amazing. It's awesome. It's good. I love rivalries, man. And
it would have been fantastic if Randall would have came in the arena and like drop kicked them. That would have been amazing, right?
That would have been. Oh man. All right. So, I guess that's the word on Thibbs for now. Hopefully, preseason we'll see a little bit. We'll see some guys get some burn. Maybe we'll have a Knox sighting here or there, hopefully. But I want to talk about the rookies. The rookies on the bench. And it might be a dumb question, but I'm just gonna put it out there. I think from what I saw in the summer league, you had some good guys. What are your thoughts on these rookies coming into the season? Who do you think is going to be the biggest contributor, and who do you think is going to go to the G League? Let's start with you, Ed Dallas. Ed Dallas, who do you think is going to be? Who's gonna be the biggest contributor, and who's going to the G League?
I'm sorry to go back to this, but how are we going to play the rookies? Coach Thibbs' rotation is, at most 9 deep, and Grimes, McBride, and Jericho Sims. I mean, Jericho Sims is going to be in the G League, right? We got Mitch, Noel, and Taj. We still got Taj on them. I mean, I love Taj, right? But they're still playing him. So how is Sims going to be playing? I don't think Sims is going to play unless there's injury. And then you got Deuce McBride and Quentin Grimes. And honestly, those guys were playing well in the summer league, very well. But they're going to be playing behind, Evan Fournier quickly, Walker, Rose, RJ, Alex Burke. I mean, how are you going to find time for those guys? I don't think that there are any of our rookies that are going to make any substantial impact. I believe that unless someone gets hurt, like Walker or Rose, it's very unclear whether McBride or Grimes is a point guard. They're like combo guards. There's like bigger versions of Quickly. You know what I'm saying? And we have a lot at stake with Quickly. So I don't think they're going to be playing more than 5-6 minutes, spot minutes here and there. So I think they're going to be buried at the end of the bench. And unfortunately, I don't think any of them are going to make a substantial impact.
Okay. All right. Okay. Coach, what are your thoughts? Maybe you can grab one of them for your team. What are your thoughts, Coach? You're muted.
Not bad. All right. Definitely take all 3. Well, yeah, like just to piggyback off Ed, Jericho Sims is most likely because Mitchell Robinson's, Nerlens Noel, Taj Gibson, and then still trying to figure out what to do with Opie and Julius Randle. I'm pretty sure they gotta at some point play some 5 this year. So Jericho is probably the first one to go. Deuce is next, like quickly, Kimba, Rose, Burks, Fournier, RJ, like all those guys, it makes it hard for him to get any minutes at the 1 or the 2. So Quentin Grimes kind of has a shot, depending if somebody on the wing gets hurt. That kind of moves him up a little bit, but still, it'd be hard for any of them to get minutes. But if we played the hypothetical and like the season goes down the drain, half the team is hurt, I like Deuce's energy, to be a two-way pest. We don't know if he's going to be able to run offense full time. He might have like some quickly things, but he'll be tough enough defensively where, like he'll be able to get steals and play in transition. And like, that'll be fun to see. And then like, if Quentin Grimes is on a different team where he got more freedom as a scorer, like if he was maybe in like Charlotte or something, or one of the teams, that needed a wing shooter, he's seasoned, he's an upperclassman. So he would have definitely strived, especially if his shots would have been falling like they were in the summer league.
Okay. All right. Wall Street, my brother. What are your thoughts on these rookies?
Man, I'm happy I went last, and I was gonna try to I was gonna try to BS my way through this question, but I just got to keep it real, man. I can't watch teenagers play ball. You guys are saying these 3 guys' names, and I'm like trying to even remember watching one thing. I know that they some high flyers. I know that I think it was McBride that they said is a kind of like a 3-and-D guy. When I see these guys do something on the court, against other NBA players trying to make a name for themselves, I try to. Yeah, is that them? Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I'm sorry, man. I don't watch college ball. I don't watch high school ball, and I don't really get into it. I watch more overseas ball than I watch college ball. It's just something about it, and I try. I like to enjoy the Final Four sometimes with the fellas. The Final Four is the only major sporting event that I go to watch with people when we have drinks and we eat wings and stuff like that, because I really don't care what's going on. I'm sorry to
let me tweak that question for a little bit, right? Okay. I don't think they're gonna be substantive pieces this year, but what do you guys think about the future? You know what I'm saying? And if I had to select one of the guys between Sims, Grimes, and McBride, I mean, Grimes and McBride are like basically the same sort of height, but Sims...
No. Quentin Grimes is like 2 or 3 inches taller.
Oh, is he?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Sims reminds me of Mitch. And this year, we got to keep our eye on Mitch, because if Mitch mouths off and they don't give him a contract extension and he bounces, I can see Sims as a new Mitch, because I did catch all the alleys that he was catching, and his vertical leap for such a big guy is very impressive. I don't remember the last guy we had on our team like that. You know what I'm saying? No. So if by any chance he can get on the court, if Tosh becomes a full-time coach and Mitch or Noel get hurt, I mean, I think this guy can easily step in and catch alley-oop after alley-oop after alley-oop. I think he has an elite athleticism that we haven't had in a long time.
He's got great hands too, because one of the passes he caught was like he had to catch it. Like it was a bad pass, and he was just like, and bam, and I was like, oh, I was like, okay. I was like, who's this kid? I had to like, who is this kid? Then they like chase him down. I'm like, Sims, okay, and I started looking him up, and I'm like, oh, okay, Jericho Sims, and I'm like,
he doesn't get the shine as Deuce McBride gets a lot of shine for what Coach B mentioned. Like he's a 3-and-D guy, and he's like ferocious. Like he reminds me of the point guard, the guard from Cleveland. What's his name?
I know you're talking about
Sexton.
Yeah, Sexton.
Colin Sexton.
The way he plays defense, he plays like that with like ferocity. So they're saying, in some of the
he's not scared.
He's not scared.
Not scared.
In the blogs, they mentioned that he has a chance to play because he plays like a Thibbs player, and and Grimes doesn't get a lot of PT. I mean, he doesn't. They're not talking about him a lot, but some people look at him like a future Allen Houston. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, why not? Okay. So fellas, Coach B put me onto a topic today as I was kind of going through, he put me onto a topic, and I actually went onto Twitter and fell down the rabbit hole and watched a topic that started very simple and started to get insanely disrespectful.
Oh yeah.
The topic I'm talking about, and thank you to Coach, because that third topic I had wasn't really good. So you gave me a much better topic. Is RJ Barrett versus Tyrese Haliburton? Who is better? Okay. We got enough going on in the world. We do not need insanity creeping into the NBA. Why is this a topic?
Nothing going on.
Who the hell? Like, now, don't get me wrong. I felt like the Knicks should have drafted Haliburton over Obi, because then we wouldn't really be having, conversations of how you're gonna work this kid into your lineup. Yep. Haliburton would be a solid piece in our backcourt. You probably would, but then a lot of things change. Needless to say, Coach, why is this a topic?
So we know RJ didn't make ESPN's top 100. He didn't. So of course, Illustrated dropped theirs, and he didn't make theirs either. So from there, people started putting a list out of Anthony Edwards, Haliburton, RJ, and somebody else. So like, how do you rank them? And some people just for whatever reason, if Haliburton is better than RJ Barrett. It's like the kid is good. He's a playmaker. He shoots it a little bit, but he doesn't have to do much. And his team didn't make the playoffs. Like he plays with a De'Aaron Fox. So the second fiddle handler. And like he plays with somebody that knows how to run the NBA offense.
Right.
No disrespect to the guy, no disrespect to D Rose and Alfred Payton, but they can't do it full time. So now, and RJ got to get his way harder than Haliburton does whatever he does. And the fact that RJ still gets hit, and is a great rebounder, like it's nonsense. But there's a whole bunch of guys that are on that list that obviously RJ's not getting any credit, any respect for. So it is. He just got to show him proof. But it's nonsense. Haliburton is a decent guard. He's not even a full-time starting guard yet. So it's like RJ's a full-time starting two guard and a full-time starting wing, and he'll be on the wing for like the next 12 years, even if he's not on the team, knock on wood, because, next week messing up. But we're not going to get into that. And, it's foolishness. But the Twitter rants are hilarious.
Yeah, it got disrespectful. And if Haliburton was so good, why would the Kings draft Davion Mitchell? Wall Street. What is your thoughts on this debate?
I think it's a little bit ridiculous because you're talking about a starter and a role player. Tyrese Haliburton, I actually, I think it's early, but I liken the Tyrese Haliburton a little bit to Sean Livingston. Sean Livingston did things a little bit differently. But when you talk about that size and length, and you talk about the ball handling, Sean Livingston was like on his way to being like great, and then he had an injury and he fought back and ended up being a mini GOAT coming off the bench for the Golden State Warriors. I mean, it was incredible what him and Andre Iguodala were doing. So when I say, I see a little bit of Sean Livingston and Tyrese Haliburton, I think that's a big up. But yeah, he's kind of like a wing guy, a 3-point shooter. I mean, it's ridiculous conversation because he comes off the bench, and RJ is super sneaky strong, and I think that you're gonna see that as his career goes on. He's running over guys, he's bump gathering, and finishing above the rim. And I think I was talking about that before in another segment. It takes a lot of strength to be able to bump gather finish. This guy is bump gathering and finishing with two hands above the rim. His strength and his hops are sneaky next level. I don't think that people talk about it enough. I think a great topic that we should talk about is who's going to be that first dude that RJ puts on a poster that finally puts this guy on the map, and we watch Knicks basketball, man. We don't play. And I noticed throughout the season, the guys, they know, the NBA knows. So when he goes up, they're not going up with him. They're ducking their heads and they're getting out of there like it's Vietnam. They're like this. They're not. So, RJ's strength and his talent and his upside, I don't think that we could put him in the same category with this guy yet.
Okay. Ed Dollars.
What up?
Is it clickbait?
All right. So I thought it was nonsense as well until I started looking at the numbers a little bit.
Okay. Uh-oh.
Here we go.
Here
the
we
problem
go.
with RJ Barrett. And my man has to all right. So here's the problem with RJ Barrett, y'all. He's incredibly inefficient, man. He's incredibly inefficient. And in his third year, he needs to step up because that's why he's getting disrespected. Because clearly the people that are putting these lists are basing it off of computer projections. All right. RJ's PER is 13.5. And again, the PER 15 is average. He's below average. So the people that put those lists together are taking everyone that's like the 15 PERs and above. Everyone below that, they're just scrapping. Haliburton's PER is 16.19. Haliburton played 30.1 minutes. His points was 13 points a game. He had 47% field goal percentage. He averaged 3 rebounds, assists 5.3, 3-point percentage, 40.9, free throw 85.7, turnovers 1.6, steals 1.3, blocks 0.5. You know what? I counted the stats, just counting the stats, and Haliburton had 8 higher stats than RJ his rookie year. So what does that really mean? Does that really mean anything? I mean, the fact is that he plays at Sacramento. There's no pressure in Sacramento. A beautiful arena, but it's not Mass Square Garden. People go there and they're delighted to see these guys play. New Yorkers go to the Mass Square Garden and we're yelling at people. We're throwing stuff. We're like having fun. We're like, there's so much pressure and the pressure's on RJ. You know what I'm saying? And he is the number 2 scorer on a top 4 team last year. And we need him to be an all-star. And if he's not an all-star this year, and if he takes a substantial step back, we're going to really view him through a different lens. So RJ himself can end all this talk by improving, just like Coach B mentioned, his game. He's got to finish better at the rim. He's got to make those shots. He's got to get to the line. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't get to the line enough, and he has to command respect. Sometimes he was freely giving off the ball. Truth be told, Alfred Payton straight up never passed him the ball. So we got better guards this year, and hopefully those guards will get him the ball in the right spots. And he shows us why he's the number 3 pick in the draft, man. So RJ needs to step it up. Yeah. Haliburton is good. He's going to be really good, and it's too bad that we didn't draft him. And I think Obi's going to be all right, but we got Julius. So Haliburton on the Knicks, it would have been Haliburton with RJ, with Julius, Kemba. Oh my God, that would have been fantastic. But that's not the reality. So RJ's really got to step it up. And these clowns on the Twitter, they're just talking. Everyone hates on everyone hates on Fox. Everyone hates on RJ. Everyone hates on McCullough. These guys got to step it up though.
Last thing. I just think that it'd be hard. He could be more efficient. So, that'd be the stake of the season as far as RJ getting better. He just got to be more efficient. But you bring Haliburton in, right? And Thibbs still is looking for a guard that's going to, score first, kind of. There's a reason why Alonzo, didn't even get a real offer from us. So, Thibbs is not looking for a pass first kind of guard or the guard that Haliburton is, which is unfortunate. But that's reality. And I think when I saw RJ coming out the league, he was a slasher. He got to the free throw line. That always translates. He rebounded well. That always translates. And now he's showing that he could be really unselfish. He did in college as well. But looking at it from coming in and playing point a little bit and what you saw from him last year, in between the fourth quarter, so before he started late in the season taking fourth quarter shots, he would be super passive, throwing the lobs. That unselfishness breeds better team basketball, which gives better energy, better chemistry to the unit. So when the numbers get better, obviously people will respect him more. But on the eye test, like Haliburton's cool, but they're not on the same level. Especially like the way the game is played, you need a guy on the wing that can score. Not so much the guy dominating the ball, because everybody dominates the ball. So the guy on the wing, that could take it 2 or 3 dribbles and make the best out of the situation. He just got to step up and kind of take that Jaylen Brown kind of leap where he's shooting more efficiently. And Obi, like, I think Obi's a scorer, man. Like, he just needs some room. It sucks because Julius Randle showed us something we didn't expect, and now we're kind of like Julius Randle's supposed to be a stopgap, and now he's the star. So with that, the organization has a decision to make, but Obi can shoot it well. He's gonna play hard, and he could jump. So he's a modern. He's a stretch 4. Like, he's the perfect stretch 4.
Okay. So just so y'all know, Coach B, NYC, and Wall Street Het, they want all the smoke on Twitter. Holler at us on Twitter. They want all the smoke.
Debate and everything.
They said your Tyrese Haliburton debate is trash. Get it out of here. No. Okay. So they want all the smoke. We want all the smoke. We don't care. Anyhow, so the last topic of the night, fellas. It's I just keep I'm just gonna jump out the car and say it like this. I was a big fan, and I believe I was so enthralled with his potential. But I've now come to the conclusion that, we've gotten to the point where people in the NBA have become so privileged that they don't see, their heads are just way up their asses, and they don't really see what we see. And Ben Simmons, I mean, he's on 4 years. He's got 4 years left on a contract, and he's telling the 76ers that his time is done with them and that they need to get rid of him. Shout out to Clutch Sports for that great idea. But I mean, what the hell is going on in the world right now? Ed Dollars, who the hell does Ben Simmons think he is? What do you think about this saga at this point?
I mean, it's a fascinating saga, and it's actually the first time in maybe NBA history where a guy that got, his he got an extension, his rookie extension, and he got the the super max rookie extension, making $150 million over 4 years. And that guy in year 1 is like, nah, get me out of here. I'm too good for you guys. Or I don't like the way you guys hurt my feelings on the last day of the playoffs when we got bounced and I let other people dunk it when I had a clear open layup. I mean, I think Ben Simmons is ridiculous, truth be told. And this is where I got to be very, very careful because, as a person of color, it's great that we are commanding, business, and we're navigating and directing business. But there's a certain business that you have to also be very careful with. And I feel like Rich Paul isn't doing his client right. You know what I'm saying? And I think that in this situation, the league may get interested in, because once people say, oh, Ben Simmons did that first year of his contract, I'm going to do that. You know what I'm saying? And he's telling them he's not going to report. And he has like a couple clauses in his contract. He makes $33 million this year. He got paid like 25% on August 1st. We didn't even play yet. He gets paid another 25% on October 1st, and then 50% later down the line. So he's going to, unless the Sixers don't mail him his check, he may be like, you know what? I'm sitting on my, $22 million, and I'm going to be like, whatever. And I'm not going to training camp. But truth be told, Ben Simmons is, he's an all NBA defensive talent, man. And he's a great offensive, he's a great assist person. Like his floor vision is amazing. He's Draymond Green with hops. Let's be real. He's an athletic Draymond Green. Would I want Ben Simmons on my team? Yes. I would love for Ben Simmons to be on the Knicks. I would trade RJ Barrett for Ben Simmons. No joke. But that's just me. This whole saga is ridiculous, and it's going to really hurt his trade value. He's going to get shipped off to Siberia, He'll probably go to the Timberwolves or Utah or the Kings. But unfortunately for the Philadelphia, Daryl Morey overplayed his hands. You know, he had an opportunity last year to trade Ben Simmons for James Harden, and he didn't do it, and he should have done it. Because if he would have done it, they would probably be in line to win the championship. Now they're looking at maybe getting McCullough, you know, maybe swapping him for Fox,
Bagley.
you know, Bagley, like, you know, these complementary pieces and draft picks that don't really match the Sixers timeline. And, you know, Rich Paul really, you know, sandbag his client's value, you know what I'm saying? And if I'm his client, if I'm Rich, I'm like, yo, go to training camp, play as hard as possible, show these guys that we are all NBA talent, and let's get traded to a legit team. Because if you don't, there's gonna be sour grapes. The whole league is gonna look at us kind of weirdly, and this is gonna be a negative aspect on Rich Paul's clientele. Again, would I trade for him if I was a Knicks GM? I would trade for him. Because we talk about how the Knicks have too many non-distributors on the team, and this guy would be the perfect distributor. He would make everybody better, and if we could trade him without giving up RJ and giving him like draft picks, the Knicks would be scary good.
I don't know. I don't think he really makes anybody good, to be honest with you. He does. I mean, the with what handoff passes, like, I mean, it's I don't know. I don't really see it anymore. Coach B, what are your thoughts?
Oof. It's a lot to unpack, man. Like, piggyback off what Ed said, you know, like, Sixers dealt themselves a bad hand, you know. They could have got rid of him a little sooner. I hate to pick on Doc Rivers, you know, because we want to support black coaches, you know. They're not that many in the league, but he goes to stops, and like there always seems to be a locker room issue, or there always seems to be a personality issue. You know, there was a rumor that he changed practice when he was with the Clippers, so Kawhi could come in at a time, but that was reasonable for him. And it's like, you gotta manage your guys better. And Ben Simmons is good, but he definitely not a Draymond Green. Draymond Green is a way better leader, okay? Showed way better class, way better character. But his skill set as being, you know, a facilitator, a big facilitator per se, or like a four that can facilitate, that's the similarity. And Draymond Green's willing to shoot the ball. You know, Draymond Green does whatever the team needs, even if he's not good at it. So, but world-class athlete, you know, to any team that he's not being a head case, you know, so like people have to think about the baggage, and you know, you don't never hindsight is 20/20. You know, you never want to trade somebody when they're hot, but like you come to realize, you know, he had an issue in college where he made that statement about like I don't do any classwork after the basketball season or something like that. So like he needs help, and his management is not doing him any favors. So the best thing he could do is just stay quiet and weather the storm, wherever it takes him. And if they got the numbers right, get a check, and then eventually some team will pick him up down the road, and he can showcase himself again. But yeah, it's bigger than basketball. Crazy.
Showcases non-shooting.
Someone why he's not on the court.
Yo, I swear to God, LeBron hit it on the button. You got dudes that are working on stuff in the offseason that they don't use in the regular season. Him with shooting, he doesn't shoot. Like, I don't know. Wall Street, my brother.
Yeah. And you knocked it right on the head. As a point guard, the idea is, can you get the defense to try to defend you above the 3-point line? If I can't get you to guard me at the 3-point line, then there's nothing else to talk about. You can't play the position. I would love to see Ben Simmons play with some more creative coaching. I would love to see him, you know, put on the court trying to do all different types of things. He's incredible on the fast break. I mean, can you name 5 guys that you would want? Can you name more than that? 5 guys that you would want running the break? You know, 5 seconds left on the clock. You just got a rebound, and you want somebody to run the court with you. You know, there's
Okay.
probably 5 guys you can put ahead of him. Yeah, I mean, you can definitely give me 5.
I can put 15 guys
once
ahead
you
of
start,
him.
no, man. When you talk about that, no,
Oh,
man.
yeah.
When you talk about that, let me tell you something. We saw it firsthand when Ben Simmons came to play in New York. He destroyed us. And you're talking about a guy with no jump shot, and he absolutely destroyed us. If that guy, and let me tell you something else. I've always loved Ben Simmons. He has a little fadeaway and a little baby hook. He has a post game that is just not utilized. When I seen Ben Simmons, Tobias Harris, and Joel Embiid on the same team, I was like, oh, that is a wrap. That is a wrap. You know, you guys want to know my liking to Ben Simmons? I always said, if you take away Magic Johnson's jump shot, he's Magic without a jumper, but that's big. That's big. At that position, you got to be able to shoot, because I need the defense to step up. And if I could get the defense to step up, I can blow right past and set up a jump shot in the corner, set up a big man cutting. You could do a lot of things when you get the guys to come up. But when I can sag 7 feet off of you and not worry about your 3, it's not even basketball anymore. It's a joke at that point. So, you know, that's the Ben Simmons problem. And on top of that, he's a head case. But don't sleep on this guy. Athletically, like Ed said, the court vision is next level. I mean, look, think about it like this. He's a starting point guard on a top team in the East that is making all-star games and all defensive teams without a jump shot. But remember that, without a jump shot. That's like going to war with a knife and coming out on top. You know, there's something, he's different. Ben Simmons is different. He just can't shoot. And that's a big, big can't.
It's crazy how he can't shoot, right? Like what, like growing up, you know, in high school and college and just like being in the league for like the last 4 years, how could you not be able to shoot? You don't work on that part of the game. Like his points per game have been basically the same since his rookie year. And everyone was saying, yo, if this guy can shoot, this guy would be the next LeBron James. Like it sometimes it boggles my mind when these guys, like, what are they working on in the offseason, man? What I get from all these stories is that he just doesn't work hard. Like what he does defensively is innate to him, but he doesn't work on his craft. You know what I'm saying? Like he peaked from what I hear. And I just can't believe a young guy like that did peak.
And you want him on your team?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he's disgusting.
He's
better than Kemba Walker and fucking Derrick Rose.
We go from one of the best defensive teams in the league to arguably the best defensive team.
Yeah.
Ben Simmons.
And he would rectify the fast break points. He would get the ball off the rim. He'd be getting the ball right off the rebound and take it off. And our fast break points would be ridiculous. He'll be passing. RJ would be averaging like 25 points a game.
Then we would still be playing Atlanta in the playoffs, so we know how that went down. It is exciting.
Oh my God.
High school, he's always been exciting. So
Knicks fans, do not drink the Kool-Aid. This kid is not a problem. He doesn't shoot. He's only good on a fast break. I mean, you guys pointed out obvious flaws to his game, and sure, yeah, he's gonna go to some place that doesn't win. He's gonna average 20 points, probably, if that. But but it's gonna be for nothing. I mean, he was on a team with the best center. Sure, he came to the Garden and destroyed, but when you got Joel Embiid on the team, drawing the double teams and doing your outlets, duh. Like, I mean, obviously, you know what I'm saying? The talent level between the Sixers and the Knicks last year was different early on in the season. I mean, listen, man, I just don't buy it no more. I don't get it. Listen, I'd play against him and win. I don't think you go to war with a kid like that who doesn't shoot. Come on, man, I'm playing this for y'all. Right there at the basket. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Like, they gave up on him. You see Joel Embiid in the back, like, what's going on? He gave up on them. And that's a key thing that people in the league don't forget. Okay, when you give up on your team in the heat of the battle, people don't forget that. And then you're gonna turn around and pull a Ron Artest. You made the biggest blunder and then decide, I want to get traded. Nah, this is the time where you man up and say, you know what? I'm gonna make things better. I'm gonna step my game up. Not, it's not my fault. Oh, it was your fault. You bounced on everybody. They did a hack of Ben. They did a hack of Ben.
They did do a hack of Ben. But let me ask you a question, man. This kid is only 23 years old. That's a lot of pressure for a 23-year-old. You can imagine ourselves when we were 23 and we had all that pressure.
We're enabling this kid, man.
Again.
That's
a lot of pressure for him,
enabling this kid.
LeBron, but survived, a couple of other stars survived. So a lot of guys in the league made it through these rough patches. So
we're enabling this kid. Listen, let's not put a color. Let's not put a social justice thing on this thing. Let's keep it basketball, okay? The kid bailed on the 76ers in a crucial series, in a crucial game, and crucial game 7. And, and the fact
he locked up Trey though. He locked him up. He didn't play well.
Okay.
He didn't play well. The team won because of the other guys. He locked them up.
Listen, Trey hit some big shots down the road in that game.
He got a couple shots, yeah.
In the fourth quarter, when it counted. Okay. I don't know. Listen, man. I think he's a good kid, and he probably needs a change of scenery, but I don't think, unless he changes some fundamental things about his game, I don't think it goes anywhere. I feel like this may be his last big contract. Everybody's banking on, and honestly, the 76ers probably started it by believing that a 6'10" kid could run the team instead of instilling certain things in him, like make him a point forward. Now you made him a point guard, and now now he might be burnt out. He might need to go someplace and switch because he's got the instincts, but you don't break the game down. You don't break the court down. And if a small guy like John Stockton can back you down and draw the team, like Wall Street said, the point guard's job is to observe the defense and break it down, or put your offensive players in the best situation possible. Does Ben Simmons do that? Not in a half court set. In a fast break, that's not even, you're not breaking nothing down. Yeah. You're just running. And you're going to jump over somebody.
He also creates a fast break still. And that's something that you can't, He creates he makes a fast break happen out of nowhere. And in a half court set, he's still passing it to the guy that deserves to get the ball. The problem with the Sixers is that he needs to operate in the paint. Like, he needs to drive into the paint, and Embiid needs to be in the paint, and they don't match well off of each other. I will tell you this, that if I could trade Obi, Knox, and like 3 first-round draft picks for Ben Simmons, I would. Along with Kemba Walker.
That's for the cheap. Why not? Yeah, that's for the cheap.
I'd trade all the draft picks for him.
Well, listen, this is a great debate.
Lottery protected too, so that means if you don't get this year, you gotta get the next year. Nah, that's stretch.
I would.
Listen.
Then I lock him in a room with a coach, a shooting coach.
You can do that. He'll walk out. Send him to Cali. Send him somewhere where it's nice and quiet. Send him to like. Denver even, like.
If I had a bet, I would say that Ben Simmons' shooting problem is something stupid, like his pointer finger is bigger than his middle finger or something like that.
Look at his release. His release is awkward. Like,
listen, if you bring Ben Simmons to the Knicks, you will be surviving the Knicks. But anyhow, ladies and gentlemen, we had a great show. You know what I'm saying? I have been Just.Hek. We got Ed Dollars, Wall Street Hek, Coach B, in full effect. Check us out on Twitter. Check us out on Instagram. We're coming soon on Facebook.
Soon.
We're coming
This
very
week.
soon. Coming soon on Facebook. That's right. Rep that New York. You know what I'm saying? Go New York. Go New York. Go. All right.
All right, boys. Peace.
Fellas, it's been awesome. Take care. Have a great night.
Thank you.
Later, my man.
Peace.